because there's still guests sleeping. Obviously not going out on drive this morning. Funny enough, at the rooms where this little track goes to, so we can't go and check there this morning. That could be where there's a cat. Hardy-Dar's shouting, there's geese shouting. Good chance cats down that way. There's a new tree pushed over. Welcome back. Seems we have been a little bit choppy this morning. Looks like it might be a server issue. If there's 10 seconds in between it going down and coming back every time, then it's the server issue in Hoodspace. Goes down and then automatically starts up again.
There's a couple of modern so really take up and look.
Okay, great. Thanks, Clara.
I think I'm an angel for. Yeah, we don't have.
Now, what chemicals was that? Okay, thanks. There's nothing on Mvubu Road. Maybe this Ingo is still in front of the rooms. There's no sign of a cat coming this way. Well, not on, at least not on the road. Excuse me. I do have a little bit of a cold. Ephraim's on the cut line, so we'll do the fire break. What was that? Did you see?
No, I was looking at the lines.
Could be a dike. Something ran in here on this pathway where the leopards have been just before we went on leave. I don't think it was a leopard. I would have seen the tail. Right. Excuse me. Oh. There's a faint green carpet here on the fire break. I suppose I was expecting a little bit more after that rain that we had. Interestingly, between here and the Timbavati, there are a couple of areas that have been burnt, and there's some interesting flowers that have come up because the burns were early enough and so were the rains early enough. And there's sometimes, if you don't get the right succession of weather and rain and fire, you might not see certain flowers for a number of years. I was hoping maybe we'll see one or two of them here. One in particular was a beautiful big red lily, lily family, called Fairy's Paintbrush Guafani. Very stunning flower. And I saw lots of them coming out of Hoedspruit. There should be some here. Yet, because there's still guests sleeping. Obviously not going out on drive this morning. Funny enough, at the rooms where this little track goes to, so we can't go and check there this morning. That could be where there's a cat. Hardy-dars shouting, there's geese shouting. Good chance cats down that way. There's a new tree pushed over. Welcome back. Seems we have been a little bit choppy this morning. Looks like it might be a server issue. If there's 10 seconds in between it going down and coming back every time, then it's the server issue in hood space. Goes down and then automatically starts up again.
There's a couple of them, so maybe take a bit low. Waiting for.
Okay, great. Thanks, Clara.
I think I'm an angel boy. Yeah, we don't know.
Now, what chemicals was that? Okay, thanks. There's nothing on Mvubu Road. Maybe this Ingo is still in front of the rooms. There's no sign of a cat coming this way. Well, not on, at least not on the road. Excuse me. I do have a little bit of a cold. Ephraim's on the cut line, so we'll do the fire break. What was that? Did you see?
No, I was looking to the right.
Could be a dike. Something ran in here on this pathway where the leopards have been just before we came, or we went on leave. I don't think it was a leopard. I would have seen the tail. Sorry, bye. Excuse me. Oh. There's a faint green carpet here on the fire break. suppose I was expecting a little bit more after that rain that we had. Interestingly, between here and the Timbavati, there are a couple of areas that have been burnt, and there's some interesting flowers that have come up because the burns were early enough and so were the rains early enough. And there's sometimes, if you don't get the right succession of weather and rain and fire, you might not see certain flowers for a number of years. I was hoping maybe we'll see one or two of them here. One in particular, the beautiful big red lily, well, lily family, called Fairy's Paintbrush Guafani. Very stunning flower. And I saw lots of them coming out of Hoedspruit. There should be some here. Hopefully we'll be seeing a lot of that, because we won't be seeing them in this group much until we start seeing them in about a month's time. We'll start seeing baby spiders that start resembling the golden orbs. At the moment you couldn't even tell that those are golden orbs. They don't have the right shape. They're just tiny little round spiders the size of a pinhead. See if I can find you another one that's a little bit closer to the car. Try and put the camera right on top of it. And if some of you haven't been with us in the summer months, the end of summer, we get a really beautiful big spider here that spins webs from tree to tree. You do get these spiders all over the world. You get different species of golden orbs. But ours here in Africa and Madagascar are some of the biggest ever. Some of the strongest silk ever made. And our first question of this drive comes from Michigan. Hello, Joanne. Welcome to our drive. Question about honey badgers and wolverines. Michigan is the wolverine state. And although Joanne's never seen a wolverine, I want to know if wolverines and honey badgers are related. And that's a question I'm going to have to throw back at you, actually, because I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest. Oh. They are mustelids. So the wolverine's the largest mustelidae. So they are related in some way. Now I'm remembering things. I was supposed to get a little booklet, but I'm sure I can get one from Juma. Just looking at the impala. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Within the next 2 to 3 weeks, these ladies are going to start popping their babies out. And in the next 2 weeks, we're going to have a book here on the vehicle. And whoever's directing is going to send through the dates, and whoever's driving will write down the dates. I think that's what we'll do. Or maybe the director, I don't know, we'll discuss it. But what we're going to do is we're going to take dates, guesses. Excuse me. Guesses from thanks for your question, Paul. Paul Ashley. Paul or Ashley. Or Ashley. Paul Ashley. How was Leave? Leave was good. Bittersweet kind of flower. It's a really beautiful flower. It's the tree that is featured on the cover of one of the biggest tree books that we have in the country. Okay. I don't know where you lose me and what you hear and what you don't. I mustn't talk too much until we get a good signal back. Okay. Thanks, Bobby G. And Wolverine around 60 kgs can kill a moose. That's pretty amazing. We're on Aubrey's Road. We're heading back towards Wetela Access Road. We're going up to Sandy Patch. Now, Seb heard some elephant, but we haven't seen any tracks or anything yet. And I'm wondering if maybe those bulls that are just somewhere off to our right, maybe that sound carried. We're going to go and have a look up near Sandy Patch for some elephant. I haven't seen elephant for more than 2 weeks. I'm going through withdrawal. I normally see a lot of elephant at home, but obviously it depends on the time of the year. Sometimes there are a lot of them and sometimes there are few. Depends on where they all are in Kruger. Hello, King Alan. Alan Hewitt. Reminding me about the monkey orange. When do the monkey oranges show up? In about 6 months' time, Alan. They'll only be getting their leaves now. If then. We'll have to go to some of the monkey orange forests around Treehouse Dam. Have a look at the status of the strychnos trees. Oh, I'm getting caught up here. The wires. big male leopard. Henry was talking about that earlier. Henry, come in. Did you follow up on that Umkhonto for that Madodinga? Where did you find that track? Okay, copy. I'm not copying too well, but yeah, that Madonna must have come from Sandy Patch. Okay, copied. I'll contact you later. I'm on Sandy Patch. Radio's a bit breaking up here. Okay, interesting. At least 3 leopards must have been around Gowrie last night, because there's tracks of a big male here. My guess is maybe Jordan. Induna around the dam, Karula a bit near Inga's house, heading down to the dam. Oh, there's a giraffe. 2 giraffes. Oh, where'd those big elephant go? There's an elephant. Kudu. Also. Sorry, boy. Why are you getting so skittish? Turned around quite quickly. Morning, Lee. Yeah, well, welcome to our elephant this morning. There's supposed to be about 4 of them here. I can see a couple of kudu bulls as well. They're moving towards the west. The giraffe are in the background behind all this quarry. I can see a giraffe through the trees. And Lee is often helping me with plants and IDs. Asking about the monkey orange. Excuse me, gosh. There's a kudu ahead of us. They're young bulls, these kudu bulls. More elephant to the right somewhere. Heard branches breaking. And Lee, yes, the monkey orange is a source of strychnine. Hence the name strychnos. Lee was saying that a toxicology professor once told her that strychnine is 100% natural. And it is indeed. And it's the seeds of the strychnos, the seeds of the monkey orange, that contain strychnine. I don't know if it's the only source of strychnine. I'm going to move around a little bit, see if we can see these other elephants. You might move into the open on the other side of the quarry. Hello, Tony. In California. We haven't been to the sausage tree yet. We will do actually pollinate them, or whether they destroy the flowers before they can be pollinated by getting to the nectar. So we've now got 3 fairly large mammals in one shot. I think maybe we need to turn around. Let's have a look at this young kudu bull. A bit skinny, but he's just the time of the year, I guess. Tony, I thought you only watched us on weekends, so I wasn't going to do the sausage treat till the weekend. Doesn't mean we can't do it today. Ah, okay, Tony. Well, we're a bit far from that tree now, and on the way there we might have a leopard, so we're not going to be able to get to it in the next, I'd say, at least half hour or so. So there's the giraffe, there's the elephant, but we still can't get them in the same shot. Only one of these elephants. The other ones I think have moved down into the drainage line. I wonder if these are the same 4 big boys that were around. Slightly bigger the bull, this kudu. But he's hiding. He's not even feeding, he's just standing there playing with dry grasses. He is putting a few of them in his mouth. She was walking towards the elephant, and now she's turned around and gone towards the back of us, this giraffe. The two species get on fine. I've never seen elephant even get aggressive with giraffe. I've seen elephant chase other animals, but they don't really seem to mind the giraffe very much. It's not going to be easy to get a shot of the two of them together. Let's see if we can see any of these other ellies. Morning, Jane. I think Jane's a new viewer. Sorry. Hello, Jane. Welcome to Juma. Welcome to our live drives. Have you ever been charged by an animal? If so, can I tell you about it? Well, yeah, sort of. There's another one ahead of us. X3. Hey, old man, I don't even think I know you. He's got no left tusk, maybe broken. I don't think I know this boy. Really sunken temples, look. No, it's hard to tell. I'm gonna have to take photos. But I don't recall seeing him before. He's got quite a distinctive face, this Ellie. But generally speaking, we try and behave ourselves with the animals, and one tries to prevent that situation from occurring where you irritate an animal enough that it's going to charge. You can't always prevent that. You can't always predict what animals are going to do. And in different areas of Africa that I've lived, animals have seen varying degrees of passive behavior by humans. Passive or aggressive behavior. In some places where elephants have been poached or have been hassled a lot by humans, they can be quite aggressive, and they do try and chase vehicles. I've had lion that most of the time we watch them, they fine, and then just one day they might be in a bad mood and they charge at the vehicle. But a lot of it is just the aggressive mock display to try and move you away because you've come too close, or because they don't want you in their presence. Touch wood. I've never had any animals actually hit the vehicle. Now, those really sunken temples of his could have something to do with age. I'm not seeing very old elephant here. I mean, he's an adult. It could have something to do. He might be a little bit sick. There might be a out of condition a little bit. Hey, mister. You are quite a big boy. Look at how thick that tusk is, that right tusk of his. Broken right tusk. Morning, sir. Interesting Ellie you are. Go away, fly. I'm busy. Yeah, he is an old man. That tusk of his is got to be about as thick as my thigh. It's possible that he broke his left tusk as well, but I'm not seeing much of a bulge on the left side of his cheek, or the left side of his face where there should have been a tusk. Maybe it was an undeveloped tusk. Yeah, he is big. He's in his 40s at least. Maybe even early 40s. That tusk would have been huge. It was deceiving, the way he was standing, and I couldn't see any part of his right tusk. I could only see at about the age of 55. But a very well-known elephant he was. In some areas of the park, where some of the really big bulls get seen by the public a lot, they become public figures in more ways than Karula ever will be. Kruger's big tuskers. So it's quite a momentous thing when one of them passes on. There's other bulls coming out. I'm going to try and turn around. Go back a little bit. I think that's why this one was rumbling, calling that other big bull. Maybe they're plotting something against us. Morning, Stacy. How are things over in Oz? Stacy in Australia. Melbourne, if I'm not mistaken. Stacy's asking the average lifespan of an elephant in the wild. I'd say 55 to 60. I may be seldom reaching 60, Stacy. But funny enough, elephant longevity only survive an entire lifespan or life cycle revolves around dead animals. So it's imperative that nature is left to take its course in almost every aspect of life here. We are just voyeurs. We are just in a way just visiting and observing, because we're no longer really part of nature. Elephants, on the other hand, yes, to a large extent. When an elephant dies, the tusks are removed. And in Kruger, they all go to a central vault. They all go to a central collection point where they're kept. If they're memorable, they go to the Elephant Museum. But here in the private reserve, any elephants that die, the tusks go to the landowners. I can see a guarri bush shaking where that other big bull is. I think I need to go and talk to him, if he's not coming this way yet. I'll give him a minute. I see his legs moving. and a tusk appearing. He's feeding on guarri down there. No longer taking grass. He's trying to get some little plant growing there and working it back and forwards to break it off. There. I don't know what that is that he's just eaten. Okay, we can go forward because there's other bulls moving. I want to see him. This big collared bull. Now this collar is a radio tracking collar. There is an ongoing study on the range use and the seasonal movement of elephants all over. Oh, he's just broken an obstacle, I think. And some of those details can be found on a website called savetheelephants.org. And if you find there's a link, because this is an operation that covers East Africa and Southern Africa, so there are elephants up in East Africa as well that are collared. There's a program up there where they have cell phone collars using cell phone technology to keep track of them as opposed to satellite technology. But there's a link that gets you to the Kruger elephants, and there's a page with all the different collared elephants, what their names are, when they were collared, and who they're named after. And this big boy, well, I haven't been able to figure out who he is yet. He does have a very distinctive tear out of his left ear, as well as I'm seeing another elephant up ahead of us as well. Probably that other smaller one. They've got a fairly distinctive tusks too. Two more elephants here. There we go, there's a nice view of him. Wow, look at that. Time to take a couple of layers off. Got so many on. Your phone on. And maybe only 2 to 5% of them will become big golden orb spiders. I suppose we're lucky in some ways that they don't all become adults. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to drive 5 feet without, sorry Sid, without going through webs. As it is, I think there's going to be a good crop of them this year. It all depends now on the food availability for these spiderlings, because obviously they can't eat very big grasshoppers yet. They can only eat little ones, little hatchling insects. Hello, Mrs. Giraffe. How are you this morning? Don't go anyway. Just coming onto the road. Now, on the subject of checklists and our quest this time, the 6-week period, to have a bit of get a bit of, and if you identify them correctly, we then mark it off, and then at the end of the 6-week period, well, we not only see who's seen the most, I think we might find that we all see pretty much the same thing over that period of time. There might be one or two extraordinary sightings that one of us might get and the other two might not, and that's all going to be depending on what happens after our 6 weeks. But for the time being, we're going to try and post the list of animals and birds on the web. Okay, Giraffe, it's getting hot here. We're going to look for a cat. Bye, ladies. Enough now. Hello, Bets. Right, we're now on Impala Plains going up to Zoe's Road. Following our progress. Station's leaving. Here's Madod just west of Sandy Patch. And can I get an update, please? Been out of radio touch. Thank you, Henry. Where was Ngala picked up? Confirmed Ngala was found this morning. Okay, thanks. So, beautiful Balanites has got flowers. They're not very elaborate flowers. Not very showy. A yellowish green color. Known as the torchwood, a really beautiful tree, and this particular specimen is perhaps one of the nicest we have here. And there's the other one, lovely big one down at Twin Dams, and then there's the other lovely big one on Vulture's Nest. Speaking of Vulture's Nest, I don't know, we might get to it today, this morning or this evening. I'm sure we'll be able to see little vulture popping its head up by now. Okay. Sorry, Bets. Bets just clarifying what the question was about. Not how long they mate for, as in how long it takes to copulate, I suppose. But how long do they mate for in their life? Do they start, well, their puberty, Bets, they're around the same age as us humans, but they don't really mate. The bulls don't really mate until they're well into their 20s or 30s. The young females can fall pregnant from as young as 12, 13. Up until they're 50 odd. So well over, they're able to, elephant females, probably 40 years worth of being able to conceive. Bulls, maybe 20, 25. Okay, so there is someone here. Station with Ingwe? Copy, thanks. Leopards. I thought maybe we would... Beautiful jackalberry. They must be maybe up the jackalberry. Up there in the Jackalberry, what a beautiful shot. Wow, if you didn't know she was there, you wouldn't see her. Oh shit. Hi Minjan. Wow. Hello baby girl. She's got attitude like her mother. In a perfect pose. Where's the other one? Quick. Oh, there. So this is Xivindzi. Shimambalana is further on. Somebody else is looking for the other side of Zoe's road. For an 11-month-old cat, she's looking pretty amazing. Move a bit forward. Sorry, Seb. Just I don't know, maybe it was better where we were.
No, it's fine, yeah.
Good. They're getting big, eh? baby jackalberry.
Can't be very comfy up there.
No, I can't see how she can be that comfortable. Although she's got her butt on the one branch. Her belly's hanging down a little bit.
Did you see the female?
Hmm?
See the female?
This one, yeah.
Female?
Yeah.
Somewhere
He
there.
was down there somewhere. Got a magpie shrike that's just arrived in the jackalberry and has now seen the leopard and is now telling the whole world that there's a predator here. What's she watching? Oh, he just caught something, the shark. That's what she's watching. There's another shrike up there on the branch that she's on, teasing her. Ephraim, do you have a visual of the other one? Waiting patiently for Mom. Mom, who seems to have been around Gowrie Dam last night. There's actually a perfect branch back there for her to sleep on, but it's probably hard for her to get there through all the greenery behind her. Perfect sort of horizontal branch. Looks like she's going to actually slip through that fork. If she leans any more back. The sharks are moving on. Ephraim, you want to come in here where I am? Okay. That looks a bit more comfortable now. She's not. It was a big relief to know that they're both here. And they're both here on Western Gari as well. It's interesting to know if anyone's seen them at the dam in the last 2 weeks, coming down to the dam cam. Although sometimes I suppose it's hard to tell who's who unless you see 3 of them together, and then you know it's Karula and the little ones, who are now not so little anymore. I'm sure she's probably close to Karula's size already. Shall we move on? Well, we've got the morning light. Go and see if there are any sausages growing on the sausage tree. Make our way just maybe past Gari Dam one last time. I'm pretty sure she'll be here this afternoon. Maybe brother will make an appearance. Unless Karula comes back for them soon, but bye-bye, Xivindzi. Station is leaving Engwe lot, open lock. So that's quite interesting actually. Signs of 3 different leopard around Gari Dam from last night. And then these 2 children here. It's a total of 5 leopards. And the 5 leopards that we know of would be Karula, Induna, Jordan, and these 2. I'm guessing it would have been Jordan that was around yesterday. watched a drongo building a nest while I was on leave. I watched a sunbird building a nest when I was on leave. Very interesting thing about the sunbird nest. Now normally sunbirds fly around gleaning spider web from either broken down spider webs, or they'll take spider web out of the communal web spiders. They even get spider web from old golden orb spiders webs or garden orbs. But this particular female was starting to do some very strange things with the spider web just outside my door. So I was able to watch her every day, all day, most of the days, because I didn't go anywhere for a long time. Fresh rhino dung. Hey, from come in. But what was interesting is, I don't know if you saw this on Konza on Filament's cut line. For me, looks like with my pinpoint. Okay, thanks. See now, it's about this. This is the kind of web I'm talking about. You see, this is a communal web, communal spider's web, and for the first time in my life, I've never seen this before. I thought when she was flying, both the female and the male were flying about the web, and she would come to the web and she'd hang on to the one side of it, and then she'd fly away. And I noticed that she wasn't flying away with any silk in her beak. And the next thing, she started flying to the spider web with bits of seed pod and bits of leaf, and she'd spend 5 minutes away, come back, and in a few seconds dab some leaf material into the web. And I noticed after the first day what was the makings of a nest, and by the end of the second day it was very clear that she was actually building her nest in the heart of a communal spider's web. I actually managed to film some of it. I've never seen that before. And of course, this is a nocturnal spider, and they would come out at night and fix the web where she'd maybe broken it, but she kept her entrance clear. And what it would do is, of course, the spiders would just spin silk around her, the ball that she was making of her nest, and in the process actually end up protecting it. Now, what she does in the inside of her nest, she builds a wall with leaves and seed pods, and it becomes impenetrable to the spiders. So it's not like the spiders can get in there and injure the chicks. But just so amazing that this bird built a nest in a spider web. I don't know if that's ever been recorded. It might have been. I know they do take web. They do take silk from the spider's web. Funny thing is that after the big storm that I had there, it must have been their old nest fell out of the candelabra tree. And that wasn't incorporated in a spider's web, but it did have, of course, it's the only way they can sow lichen and leaves and to make their web. They don't use grasses the way weavers do. They use silk. I think we'll just go past Treehouse Dam. While we're here, I don't know if Alan's still awake. Might see on the other side of the dam, might see monkey orange that's either getting leaves or maybe even flowers. They don't have great flowers, the monkey pods. Hello, Nashorn, Vogel, Gelbschnabel, Nashorn, Vogel. Translated, yellow-billed rhinoceros bird. This is a hornbill. These tiny little ones that, well, I can only think that they must have a sense of humor, because they're very fast, very agile, and they sit on your face and get to the corner of your mouth and the corner of your eyes. You'll never catch one with your hand, but you end up swatting yourself in the face all the time, trying to chase them away. So soon it'll be time to get a guarri branch as a fly swish. No, that's Scarborough Fair. I'm thinking of a song, San Francisco came to mind. Make sure to wear flowers in your hair. Bev, hello Bev in San Francisco. San Francisco. Bev wants to know if leopards ever lie on the ground and sleep. They do, Bev, if they feel secure enough, if they feel that they're not going to be disturbed by the likes of lion, other leopard or hyena, or even you can get elephant and buffalo disturbing leopard too. But yes, they do, they can and they will, and we have seen them on the ground sleeping, and we are bound to see them on the ground sleeping again at some point. In fact, I would say that we see leopard on the ground here more than in trees, and in East Africa I used to see leopard in trees more than on the ground, and a lot of it has got to do with prevailing conditions. A lot of it has got to do with things like, well, first of all heat, but also some other biting flies that come along with the heat up in East Africa, the tsetse flies, especially when you get sandy soils because of the breeding cycle of the tsetse fly. Actually a very interesting breeding cycle, by the way. But they get into the trees, even lion do, to get away from the biting flies. Here they mostly just get into the trees to get away from biting hyena and lion. Noisy pump. It was nearly as noisy when it was diesel. So, sausage tree. Fly. can we see any fruit yet? You can see all the little stems that the flowers were hanging on. But I'm not seeing any little sausages starting to form yet. Take a closer look. Between Seb and I, see if we can find you something. There's the remnants of one or two flowers there. And that could mean that the ovaries are starting to swell after fertilization. So there could be, but I have to be honest, I'm not seeing any sign of any fruits growing yet. And the main reason for that is because when instead of only the petal and the stamens of the flower falling, the whole flower might have fallen, taking the stigma, the style and the ovary with it. So those are mostly bare flower stems. Oh well, we'll keep an eye on it. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get to see any sausages growing this year. There might be. I'll have to come and have a look, take a walk around the tree in the afternoon, have a look on the other side when the sun's on the other side. Actually, I think let's go the other way. What do you think of it? Chelapan. The inverter's beeping quite fast. Okay, well, we're going to have to... Really? Okay, well... No, I'm only hearing it now. Okay, well then we're going to have to say goodbye. Otherwise we don't get a drive this afternoon. And I didn't find it... Well, I found the flower. I found the flower of a... Balanites. What's it again? Torchwood. Try and find a fancy flower later. But yes, folks, that is going to be calling it a day now. And all up here in the shade.